Okay, hi Sam. This is a slightly different way of drafting, um, so I hope it's actually more effective. Throughout, you'll see that where I've highlighted in red, that's either a spelling or a grammatical error. I'm not doing all the editing of that for you, but where I've noticed it, I have highlighted it. If I don't mention it, it's your responsibility to have a look and change it on your own. I've tended to highlight ideas or expression that you need to look at in yellow. So you'll start off with form. That's all good. I like the fact that you've actually named the magazines that they would appear in. So that's all good. Purpose. Just look at your editing. It's not sheer, it's share. Again, just make it clear that you understand that the purpose of advertisements is to persuade their target audience through building a desire or connecting with a value in their target audience, which makes them want to buy the product. And also, they need to make their target audience remember the product. So that was covered at the beginning of the PowerPoint. You just need to incorporate that somewhere. A bit of editing here, and also don't use you. You're talking about the consumer or the target audience, and you must make sure that you change this throughout your draft. You might want to discuss here what you think you said, that it's appeal to the audience's inclination toward power. So again, look at the printout that I gave you. It's building on the audience's desire for power or status. So you do say that the second one focuses on the benefits and features of the shoe, so it's a slightly different approach. It's actually appealing to reasoning, and it's using reasoning and logic. It's not it's using reasoning and logic to appeal to the audience's sense of. I don't know if it might be value or performance, but basically this is the best possible product for the consumer to use to enhance their performance. Again, try not to say things like entice the audience. Again, it's create or reinforce that connection with their target audience. The target demographic, that should be of. Each of the advertisements would seem to be very similar at first glance. They're both produced by the same company promoting sporting shoes. It's all a bit wordy, Sam. Just make it a bit more. This is a very, very long sentence. So you need to read it out loud, and edit. And again, don't say people, target audience. I know it's repetitive, but just change it up. Consumer, target audience. Viewer. Now you talk about the demographic being more specific, but you're not actually being specific yourself in what that demographic is. I want gender, I want age, and I want a sort of a description of that kind of a person. I gave you some ideas in the annotated Adidas ad that I did. So you've got the information there, so you can use it. And just make sure that when you're talking about the target audience, you just pick something out from the text that supports the conclusion that you've come to. Now you say that the social context is different. Yes, so they're two very different eras. But I think, again, just little things, the person picture, you're talking about the athlete or the celebrity or the professional. But again, you haven't really addressed the social context. I think the main difference in the social context is the huge technological and media and social media advancements that have happened since the publication of that first advertisement. The sophistication of the 21st century consumer compared with what they were like then. Now we are advertisers are trying to attract an audience that is bombarded with images, visual images and advertisements, thousands every day. So they've had to develop their techniques. But I think what's interesting is both advertisements are still using celebrity endorsement, which proves that audiences across the ages are still aspiring to professionals who've achieved a high level of success. And so that emotional connection seems to be a sort of a universal across all those technological advances, this appeal to human nature and our desire or our aspiration to be powerful like those people who are successful. So you need to tidy that up. Now here you refer to the athletes. I think when we're talking about visual elements, you actually need to refer to, you have to use the technical language, Sam, which is celebrity endorsement, and how advertisers use people who've achieved celebrity or a high level of professional success to link that product with that person's fame or good reputation or achievement. So you need to make sure that in this part, Sam, you're using clear topic sentences that introduce the technical language, the element of visual language that you are analyzing. So here, where you say, however, there's a significant difference in how the athletes are displayed, what you're talking about here is how the creators of the advertisement have positioned each athlete's body language in a very different way. And that is because the message, the core message and the overall feel of each advertisement is very different. So that's what you need to be showing your understanding of here. Now again, don't say person, say who it is. And don't say is displayed. Again, what you're doing here, Sam, is you have to address that criteria, the knowledge and understanding of how creators of texts use techniques and conventions to have an effect on their audience. And an advertisement is a text like anything else. And the creators of the designers or the creatives or the copywriters in media are creators like the authors in Zuzak in The Messenger. So make sure that you're foregrounding your understanding in these topic sentences of the advertiser and how they are using the conventions of advertising, in this case, elements of visual language. So say that they have positioned him they've captured him in a mid-action shot, which I've just changed that word, captures this idea of energy. Again, look at the information that I gave you on the handout, the annotation that I did about this whole thing with Adidas and everything is possible with sport and the energy that energy and excitement that it captures. And this reinforces, is what you're saying here, the slogan, explosive speed. So, yeah, the special effects that they use reinforce this idea of explosive speed. The lights here, it's like they're exploding into action. And the special effects that they've used with the lighting of the mud or the dust that's coming up from his feet to look like they're literally on fire. And as you say, the orange, mercurial. Mercury is an explosive. You look at the actual way Mercury is, and mercurial means explosive. So this whole feeling here, and you're quite right, the use of color, the orange here, here, here. It's this idea of fire, and it's incredibly powerful. Look at the cracks in the font that they've used for explosive. He's literally the energy that he's creating is like an earthquake. This is all being reinforced. Look at you said that it's a long shot. So yes, we see him within the backdrop of the football stadium, and he's obviously about to score the winning goal. So this is the kind of thing that you need to be looking at. Layout, he's in the very center, so that he's the very first thing that we see, and you need to, and the fact that they've blacked out the stadium. Football stadiums don't look like that. So this is special effects, and all of this is to highlight him. And then with this one, you're looking at the fact that this is a mid shot. Look at the color and lighting. They had color in those days because it's down here. So they've chosen black and white for a reason. The lighting, look at the way it highlights his biceps. Look at the way that they've used the props. You do talk about the props. But look at the masculinity of this. Look at the determination. Look at the use of eye contact. And then you've got this sort of quite chatty, ironic text, which actually was very innovative at the time. So you need to go back and have another look, and you've done a pretty good job, but what you're just not doing is highlighting that technical language and making it really clear with those topic sentences and basically teal. And make sure that you're incorporating that comparative language. So while they both use camera shots and angles, but to create different effects. So you need to go and look through all of that. Same thing with the language features. Think about the chatty and ironic tone, much more text, the way that it is it's talking directly to the viewer, the effect of rhetorical question. So you've done a pretty good job, but I think you need to just make sure that you show a bit more on the effect, how it's reinforcing those two very different moods. One is that explosive energy, and the other is a more studied, steady, very masculine determination. So you need to go and just tidy those up a bit. Conclusion and evaluation. You need brief conclusion, like you do with the summary in an essay. It might be a bit repetitive, but both creators, or the creators of both advertisements, have used a range of advertising conventions, blah, 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 to convey their core messages and engage and fulfill their purpose. And then you've got to decide which one you think is the most effective. So you decide. What do you think? Which one is the most effective? And what are the techniques that really stand out, that make those effective? If you choose the first one, then I think you have to show your understanding that it's more effective to you because you are, and don't say I, but as a viewer, that you are looking at it from the perspective of the era, and therefore it's the most compelling. But you might choose the other one. But just very brief here. You're already over your word count, so you're going to make sure that you tidy up, edit down some of that wordiness, and really focus on clear, concise, well-structured, technical analysis, and make sure you hit that analysis of the effect on how they're influencing their target audience and reinforcing the connection that they want to make, and make sure that you're analyzing similarities and differences. Okay, so happy drafting, Sam.